We have some breaking news coming in on the CEC bill. Remember, there was politics that was going on the CEC bill that was recently tabled in the parliament, and now the government sources have clarified that under the new bill, the CEC will continue to hold rank and precedence in the same order as before. So the government sources have clarified on the CEC bill, on which there was politics that was going on, that under the new bill also CEC will continue to hold rank and precedence in the same order as before. And the sources have also told CNN News 18 that CJI was never a part of CEC and EC selection process, and it is wrong to say that he has been taken out of the selection process. Selection committee can recommend names outside those prepared by a CAB-SEC-led panel. We have CNN News 18's Payal Mehta joining us on the story. Payal, so government sources have now clarified that the CJI was never in fact a part of the CEC.
Well, as far as Supreme Court in its judgment has said that the appointment of the CEC and the EC must be made by the selection committee headed by Prime Minister and comprising the leader of the single largest opposition party in Lok Sabha, and with the CJI until a new law is made in regards to this by Parliament. There was an existing law in Parliament which has to be reviewed according to the Supreme Court judgment. But of course, after the revision, it has been enacted in a way, in a sense, it's been introduced in Rajya Sabha just recently, just about last week. And it is going to be done as a procedure. So obviously, the government over here allaying the fears of the opposition, saying that if the Chief Justice is not there, then are they undermining the authority of the judiciary in this country? But the government says that the need to make a law, the mandate to make a law is with the executive and not with the judiciary as well. So obviously, there is going to be the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha who is going to be a part of this panel, like it is in the panel of several other appointments, and of course, Prime Minister and a cabinet minister as well. So obviously, that's where it really stands. So government has said there is nothing for anybody to fear. This is going to be done fairly because the Prime Minister is not the Prime Minister of a political party. The Prime Minister represents all the 140 crore Indians. So that's the argument that is coming forth. And the fact that there will be an opposition leader who is present, so obviously he can also sort of bring forth the version of his party or probably the opposition side as well. So it's not a biased panel is what the government is arguing. So the Prime Minister represents the country and not a political party.
While also another clarification that's coming in from the government sources side is that under the new bill also the CEC will continue to hold the rank and precedence in the same order as before.
Well, absolutely, because the other details are not tampered with, given the fact that there is a mandate which is already in place. So the law has very clearly established what are the do's and what are the don'ts and on what basis, and it talks about the above active status to continue, whether it is of course no change in terms of what you're really speaking about as well. So obviously it's not tampering, but the fact of the matter is that the government was mandated by the court to bring about this bill, and that's the reason this bill has been brought, because there was a case till the law has been made and the law is now under consideration. It was introduced in the Rajya Sabha. The bill is yet to be passed by Parliament. So the selection panel can recommend any person outside the panel as suggested by the search committee. The search committee will be headed by the cabinet secretary. He will also be bringing forth 5 names. And this is the same procedure which is being followed by several senior functionaries, including chairman and members of the UPSC, the CEC, the Chief Information Commissioner, to name a few.
All right, Payal, thank you so much for giving us all those details. We're now shifting our focus to another big story of the day. The government introduced 3 bills in the Lok Sabha yesterday to replace 3 criminal laws, which are the Indian Penal Code of 1860, the Indian Evidence Act 1872 and the Criminal Procedure Act 1898, which are the British era laws. The IPC 1860 will be replaced by the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. The Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Bill 2023 will replace the CRPC 1973, and the Bharatiya Sakshya Bill 2023 will govern the rules and procedures on evidences in place of the Indian Evidence Act 1872. While tabling the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill, Union Home Minister Amit Shah said that laws like sedition will be revamped. Punishments for acts like secession armed rebellion, subversion, and separatist activities or endangering the sovereignty or unity and integrity of India have been added to the revised law. In fact, Amit Shah also added that the centre will also introduce the provision of capital punishment for mob lynching and sexual assault of minors. The new bill prioritizes laws to deter crimes against women and children, giving the legal provisions more teeth.
राजद्रोह पर कि अंग्रेजों ने अपने शासन को बचाने के लिए एक कानून बना था। मैं इस सदन को कहना चाहता हूं, एक ऐतिहासिक निर्णय इस सरकार ने किया है। राजद्रोह को कंप्लीटली हम रिपील कर रहे हैं कि जिन्होंने भी ये कानूनों को पढ़ा होगा, इसकी प्रायोरिटी क्या थी? मानवी की हत्या से या महिला के साथ दुराचार से बड़ा कोई कानून अपराध नहीं हो सकता। सबसे पहला चैप्टर इसमें आएगा महिलाओं और बालकों के साथ अपराध। मान्यवर, मैं सदन को बताना चाहता हूं, ये तीनों कानूनों में गुलामियों की निशानी से भरे हुए कानून। सबसे पहले तो इसको ब्रिटेन की पार्लियामेंट ने पारित किया था, हमने अडॉप्ट किया था, यहीं से शुरुआत होती।
So the criminal laws are going to be revamped. Now let us understand what does the old sedition law state and what is the proposed law now. Now according to the old sedition law, hatred, contempt or feelings of disaffection. So this is what the old sedition law states, whereas the proposed law includes attempting to wage war by collecting weapons. So this is the difference between the old sedition law and the proposed law. Now the old sedition law, it states that there was no clear definition of offence against the state in the old sedition law, whereas the proposed law, it has conspiracy and use of criminal force against the government. So this is what the proposed law states. Now in the old sedition law, the section was termed vague and arbitrary by the Supreme Court, but in the proposed law, it states that attempt to excite armed rebellion, fueling separatism. So this is what the proposed law includes. Now in the old sedition law, it was open and prone to misuse due to the colonial language, but in the proposed law, it states that activities against the president and governor's office. So this is what the difference is between the old sedition law and the proposed law. So the old sedition law has had open and prone language. It had colonial language, and due to which it was more prone to be misused, whereas the proposed law, it states that any activity against the president and governor's office is punishable. Now let's take a look at some more reactions on this.
वर्तमान हमारा भारत नया निर्माण चल रहा है। हम अमृतकाल की ओर जा रहे हैं, विकसित भारत की ओर जा रहे हैं। इसलिए नियम, कानून, संविधान हमारे देश के अनुरूप ही होने चाहिए, ना कि जो चलता आ रहा है वो ही चलता रहेगा। ये दुर्भाग्य है कि देश के बंटवारे के समय पे तथाकथित ऐसी सरकार थी जो उनके पालन पे ही चल रही थी। अंग्रेजों ने ही इसको सारा कुछ देखा था, और वो कांग्रेस जिसकी स्थापना ही अंग्रेजों ने की थी, तो उन्होंने अपने हिसाब से काले अंग्रेज पैदा किए उसके बाद, आज़ादी के बाद में। आज उन काले अंग्रेजों को खत्म करने की आवश्यकता है।
हमारा जो प्रतिनिधि होगा, कांग्रेस का जो प्रतिनिधि होगा, इंडिया का जो प्रतिनिधि होगा, वो अपने विचार बाहर नहीं रखेगा, वो उसी प्रवर समिति को देगा। और भाजपा की जो गलत नीति है, समुदाय को, वर्ग को, अनुसूचित जात को या ट्राइबल को या अल्पसंख्यक को, उनके सबके हित के साधते हुए हर भारतवासी के हित का सुझाव देगी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो भी करती है उसमें हमेशा जाति के नाम पे, धर्म के नाम पर, परंपराओं के नाम पर तमाम ऐसी बंदिशें वो लगाना चाहती है